Assalamu alaikum, peace be to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm on day 4 of the 75 hard program. This is my second attempt. All of my previous videos I got to day 20 of the 75 hard program and then I'd fallen asleep, missed out on this much water, which means that that particular day was not complete for the 75 hard program, and therefore I decided to start again. I felt a lot of heaviness in my heart yesterday, and when I feel that way, I don't know about you, but it really does get to me physically as well. I'm a person, I know that I'm a compassionate, I'm an empath. If I wasn't that person, I wouldn't be doing the work that I do. I set up a charity more than 12 years ago now to support bereaved parents after their child or baby had died because of a death in my own family, and just trying to figure out that what do you do when a child or baby dies. You know, it's such a tragic, traumatic circumstance to be part of, and what do you do when that happens? And so I've been doing this work, and I know that I never want to be an autopilot when I'm speaking about the death of a child. I don't want to be an autopilot when I'm supporting a bereaved parent. So when I feel something, I feel it. It's not just a moment, I really feel it in my body. And my children made this for me today. I don't know if you can see it. It says, "Get well soon, inshallah." Inshallah means God willing. Because that kind of intensity that I felt yesterday, if you had watched yesterday's video, it literally just goes through my body and I can feel it. And I'm okay with it. This morning I felt the same thing. I wasn't well this morning. Maybe, as one of you commented, it does take a toll on you when you're working out morning, when you're working out in the evening, when you're drinking all of the water. And the weather's not great, but I don't like to blame the weather for everything. But I do have acute asthma as well. So, maybe 75 hard is taking a toll, but so what though? So what, I say. Not because I'm trying to be frivolous or silly about my health, but just because I know that any time I can reduce to take some of the pressure off any of these workouts, like yesterday when I did the walking instead of like an intense workout in the garden, I can always do that, but I will complete my day's critical tasks. I don't know if you guys read the Al Jazeera. I seem to have two screens again. I tend to get my news instead of BBC. I tend to go to the Al Jazeera website. And when I read that 3 babies freeze to death in Gaza refugee camp amidst the Israeli blockade, and then just reading in detail that these babies died of hypothermia in the refugee camp in southern Gaza, temperatures plummet, Israel's blockade of food, water, essential winter supplies, so avoidable, like the kind of people that I work with or have been working with for the past 12 years, their child has died, whether it's a stillbirth, a miscarriage, an ectopic pregnancy, a child that got run over, a road traffic accident, right? A child that was murdered. I've come across all the different ways, sadly, of how a child can leave this world. When I read this is so avoidable. This was a 3-week-old Sila Mahmoud Al-Fasih just died 3 days, and on Wednesday, adding that 2 more babies aged 3 days and 1 month had been brought to the hospital over the previous 48 hours after dying of hypothermia. Like the way that the father describes that we were, just sleeping on cold sands. We don't have enough blankets. We feel the cold inside our tent. Only God knows our condition. Our situation is very, very difficult. The family's tent was not sealed from the wind, and the ground was cold with temperatures dropping to 9 degrees Celsius. Excuse me. The baby had woken up crying 3 times overnight. In the morning, her parents found her unresponsive, her body stiff like wood. Ya Allah. He rushed the baby to the Nasser hospital, but it was already too late to revive her, and she froze to death from the extreme cold. I read that first thing this morning, and that has been at the front of my mind, in my thoughts throughout the day. When my kids were whinging about, one person putting stuff on the other person's bed, I just looked at them and I just said, stop. Let me put some things into perspective. And you may or may not agree with my parenting style, and that's okay, but I do know my kids. And I said, I want to share something with you. There are 3 kids, 3 babies that died because they didn't have the mattress and the pillows and the organic cotton, the short cotton sheets that you have. And it's so avoidable. It's so shocking. So I think what I wanted to ask you today is, it's been 446 days of this relentless violence, of children dying, of families being torn apart. 446 days of this genocide, and that is exactly what it is. Like, if we're not on the same wavelength about that, maybe you shouldn't be watching my videos, because I'm a humanitarian. I'm a human being, and I will care about every human being that I come across. I will go out. I will take people's shopping into their bags if I see them struggle. I will open doors. I will speak to every single supermarket assistant that I come across. I will not use my phone when I'm in a supermarket store. I will smile at people, whether they smile back at me or not, doesn't bother me. I will say hello when I'm on my walks. I will give up my seat in a bus. It's just the human being that I was raised as, and it's how I'm raising my children. So if you and I cannot agree on what is going on, and if you still haven't done your research about the background of what this genocide is about, then maybe you shouldn't be watching my videos, and I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that, because you've got to draw the line somewhere. But what I wanted to ask you today is that, how are you coping with the genocide in Palestine? 446 days. How are you coping? How are you coping with the daily news? How are you coping with the, I don't want to say traumatic, I want to say the most appalling videos, the most murderous videos and pictures that we have the opportunity of being a witness to. I watch these videos, as I said yesterday, because I want to be a witness to this. I will not let this just pass. And if it means that I can't sleep, if it means that I wake up in the early hours of the morning and I put my hands together and I cry and I say to God, the Most High, that I know you're watching this. I know you know what's going on, and I believe in your wisdom. I believe in your wisdom. I believe in your wisdom. And the time will come when justice will be served. And until that justice is served, I will be patient, and I will keep waking up in the early morning and put my hands together and pray to you, and pray and supplicate and give of my wealth to support the needy, to support wherever I can, and to make and to pray for protection for the people that are going into this genocide, medical aid, people that are working for charities, people that are trying to take food despite the fact that they keep blocking the bare necessities of food. I have people that I know who are medics who have gone into these very, very difficult circumstances and tried to be of assistance. Then that was what I will continue doing. But how are you coping with the genocide in Palestine? 446 days. 446 days. Today, I didn't want to do my outdoor workout, just didn't want to do it. Didn't want to go out, wasn't feeling great. Actually found myself sleeping in the daytime. I was feeling that the asthma was kind of creeping up, and I thought, okay, what do I need to do? And I said to myself, it's day 4. I was whinging to myself. I said, I've still got 71 days left of this 75 hard. There was no joy I was feeling today. I'll be completely honest. I did say that to you. And then I thought about the people in Gaza, the people in Palestine, and what they've been going through for 446 days. And I said to myself, Hafiza, stop it. Just stop complaining. You've chosen to be part of 75 hard because you want a stronger body. You want better mental discipline, mental toughness inside of you. You want to go out and you want to drink that last drop of water, and you want to do the stuff that you said you would do, so that in 2025, you're showing up differently. You're going to run that marathon, and you're going to do it with the flag of Palestine, because Palestine will be free, and you're going to raise money. Because when it's our time to rebuild Gaza, we will do it together. 446 days, guys. I want you to think about that. I cannot even imagine what it feels like to be them where they are. On top of 3 children, 3 babies who died totally unnecessarily. Like, when I support parents who have a miscarriage or a stillbirth, or a child that's died, maybe they've been unwell, right? It's almost like, I'm not saying it makes sense, but it's like there's almost like reasons why things might have happened. With this is about food and clothing and shelter and heat deliberately not getting to these babies, and therefore they died. How much can a baby cope with? How much can a baby cope with? And then on top of that, I read about 5 more journalists being killed. 5 more journalists being killed. 5 journalists killed in an attack on a media van. And on top of that, at least 38 more lives taken in 24 hours. So my question to you is how are you coping with the genocide in Palestine? How can I support you? Because there are some days where there's nothing to say except what the reality of what's going on in the world. And I never, ever want to distance myself from what is actually going on. I don't want to show up to all these lives and I did this and I did this and life's good. And life will never be the same. Life will never be the same for me, and I'm okay with that. I'll live with it. I live in hope because I believe in God. I believe in the qualities. I believe in the characteristics. I believe in the attributes that God has given. God the Most High has given to himself. And I know that he is witnessing and he knows what is happening. But how are you coping? How are you coping in the face of just such unimaginable suffering? Put it in the comments below. And also do share how I can support you as well. And I will reach out to you. I think that's enough for today. Take care. I'll speak to you tomorrow.